Ladies and gentlemen, focus on yourself. That's how you win. That's how you rise. That's how you become the kind of human being who doesn't just survive, but dominates life on your own terms. And I want you to understand something from the very beginnings. Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is responsible. It is healthy. It is necessary. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And yet people spend their entire lives draining themselves dry for the approval of others who don't even clap for them when they succeed. For years, society has conditioned you to believe that self-prioritization equals arrogance. That confidence equals ego. That ambition equals greed. But let me tell you the truth as a neuroscientist and as someone who has studied human behavior for decades. Your brain is hardwired to reward progress, growth, and personal victory. The dopamine system, the same system that drives motivation, ignites when you improve your own life. It doesn't activate when you sacrifice yourself for someone who would never do the same for you. It rewards why are you and why are you evolve. So why do people fail? Because they are trained to care too damn much about what everyone else thinks. They are terrified of judgment, terrified of rejection, terrified to disappoint people who are not even a part of their future. But let me ask you, what about disappointing yourself? What about rejecting your own potential? What about being judged by the only person who will travel with you until the end? The person inside the mirror. We spend so much of our lives asking for permission. Permission to dream. Permission to grow. Permission to succeed. You don't need permission. You need commitment. You need discipline. You need focus, laser focus, on becoming the strongest version of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. When you focus on yourself, you reclaim control of your mind. You take back the power you've handed to the world. Many people wake up every morning, and their first thought is about someone else's opinion. What will people say? That question has destroyed more dreams than failure ever has. Neuroscience proves that when you obsess over external validation, your brain activates survival circuits, not growth circuits. You become defensive, fearful, risk avoidant. You shrink, you hesitate, and life punishes hesitation. Think about this. Every time you choose someone else's comfort over your own destiny, you betray yourself. Every time you allow another person's expectations to dictate your choices, you abandon your future. Every time you put yourself last, the world follows your lead and treats you accordingly. I want to share a story, not about some billionaire or superhero, but about a young man who had nothing. He grew up ignored, underestimated, overlooked. Teachers said he wasn't smart enough. Classmates said he wasn't good enough. Family told him not to expect too much from life. He spent years trying to make everyone happy, trying to fit in, trying to be accepted. And one day, exhausted, he asked himself a question that changed his life. What if I stopped trying to be what they want and became who I am supposed to be? That young man stopped chasing approval and started chasing excellence. He studied. He worked. He trained. He blocked out the noise. And that kid, the one nobody believed in, became a world-renowned authority, not because others supported him, but because he supported himself. You must understand, the pursuit of approval is a mental prison. You decorate the walls with lies about who you should be. You chain your identity to opinions of people who aren't even qualified to judge you. You lock the door with fear and the tragedy. Most people never escape, but you are here because something inside you refuses to be average. Something inside you is hungry. Something inside you believes you are meant for more. And that inner voice, that fire, it's right. But you must feed it. You must fuel it. You must protect it from everything and everyone that tries to smother it. There is a psychological principle called attentional control. It states that your life moves in the direction of what you consistently focus on. If you focus on problems, your life becomes a battlefield. If you focus on excuses, your life becomes a cage. But if you focus on your personal growth, your body, your mind, your skills, your financial intelligence, your relationships, then your life becomes a strategy for winning. You want real confidence. Earn it. Earn it through discipline. Earn it through failure. Earn it through consistency. Your brain does not respect what you talk about. It only respects what you repeatedly do. When you keep promises to yourself, waking up early, training your body, building your skills, taking risks that scare you, your identity changes. You start to believe in yourself not because someone told you that you should, but because you proved it with action. And action is everything. The brain learns through doing. Every challenge you conquer rewires neural pathways, making you mentally stronger, more resilient, more unstoppable. That's why adversity is a gift. Hardship is a gift. The struggle builds the person who can handle the success. If life is easy right now, I don't envy you. I worry for you. Ease creates weakness. Challenge creates greatness. Now let's talk about one of the biggest distractions that destroys focus: comparison. In the age of social media, people measure their worth by views and likes. They scroll through highlight reels, filtered faces, rented lifestyles, pretended happiness, and they feel inadequate. But neuroscience reveals that comparing yourself constantly triggers cortisol, the stress hormone, which clouds your thinking and damages your motivation. You lose clarity, you lose ambition. Why? Because your brain starts fighting battles that don't even belong to you. Your competition is not on a screen. Your competition is who you were yesterday. And if you beat that version of yourself every day, by even 1%, you will destroy 99% of the world. Self-mastery, not social approval, is the ultimate victory. Some of you are waiting for someone to come save you, to recognize you, to choose you. Stop waiting. No one is coming. You must choose yourself. You must save yourself. The world respects those who respect themselves first. You think people will support you when you succeed? No. People support you when you no longer need their support. When you focus on yourself long enough, success eventually becomes so loud that the world can't ignore you anymore. And here's the beautiful twist. When you win, you attract people who are winners. Strong minds respect strength. Weak minds resent it. So let them resent it. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. While they talk, you work. While they sleep, you grind. While they waste time, you build your empire inside your mind brick by brick. Every transformation begins in solitude. The greatest breakthroughs happen when you disconnect from the noise and listen to your soul. Isolation is not loneliness. It is strategy. Your brain thrives in silence. Creativity ignites, clarity sharpens, vision becomes undeniable. But too many people run from being alone because they don't like who they are when no one's watching. If that's the case, good. Use that discomfort as fuel. Use that silence to reinvent yourself from the ground up. There's a concept in neuroscience called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every thought, every habit, every belief either strengthens you or weakens you. If you think small, your brain adapts to limitation. If you think boldly, your brain adapts to possibility. This means you are not stuck. You are not doomed by your past. You are not defined by your environment. You can change. You can reset. You can rebuild. But only if you focus on yourself, ruthlessly, intentionally, unapologetically. You do not owe anyone your potential. You do not owe anyone your joy. You do not owe anyone your life. But you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself the respect of becoming who you are capable of becoming. And that journey begins with a decision to cut out the distractions, the toxic people, the negative influences, the self-limiting beliefs. A decision to say, I'm done living small. I'm done living for others. My time is now. Your brain is the most powerful machine on earth, but even a supercomputer can't run efficiently if 1,000 programs are draining its processing power. When you eliminate what doesn't matter, you unleash what does. You gain clarity, you gain energy, you gain results. Progress isn't magic, it's mathematics. If you give your focus to 5 things, each gets 20% of you. But if you give your focus to one thing, to building yourself, it gets 100% of you. And that changes everything. That level of intensity doesn't just win, it dominates. You think champions are special. They're not. They're focused. They are obsessed with improving themselves. While others gossip, they grow. While others blame, they adapt. While others hope, they execute. They understand a fundamental truth: when you master yourself, you master life. Let me be very clear. The world does not reward the people who need help the most. It rewards the people who bring value. And you can't bring value until you become valuable through learning discipline, courage, and action. You were not born to live small or to struggle endlessly or to remain average. There is greatness inside you. But greatness is not revealed in comfort. It is revealed in the choices you make when no one is watching. You must become the kind of person who doesn't break from pressure. You break records under pressure. You channel adversity into achievement. You weaponize your focus. You turn silence into strategy. You turn solitude into strength. If you want people to believe in you, give them evidence. If you want results, do the work. If you want respect, build yourself into someone respectable. And that journey, that discipline, that transformation starts with one commitment: focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Not for a day, not for a week, but for as long as it takes to become unrecognizable to the version of you who settled for less. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to post it. You don't need validation. Results will speak for you. The world is loud. Everyone is screaming for attention. But very few are earning admiration. People want applause without performance. They want success without sacrifice. They want the finish line without the race. You must be different. You must be willing to build when no one cares, so that later they will have no choice but to notice. Understand something crucial: human evolution itself is the story of self-focus. We survive because the brain learned to prioritize its own survival, its own growth, its own advancement. And yet today, people shame you for wanting better. They shame ambition. They shame discipline. They shame independence. But what they are truly shaming is the reminder of what they could have been if they didn't give up on themselves. When you focus on yourself, you expose laziness. You expose weakness in yourself first, and then in others. And weak people hate the mirror that reveals truth. They will call you selfish to make you play small again. They will call you arrogant because it's easier than admitting they quit. They will distance themselves, not because you changed, but because you didn't stay where they are. Let them go. Growth and comfort do not live on the same street. When you elevate your standards, those who refuse to rise will naturally fade out. That is not loss, it is alignment. You see, your brain adapts to the people you surround yourself with. Mirror neurons fire when you observe others. If you spend time with winners, you unconsciously elevate. If you surround yourself with complainers, you become one. And if you allow toxic people to drain your energy long enough, eventually you will confuse exhaustion with identity. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Focus isn't only about what you do, it's about what you refuse to allow. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every conflict deserves your reaction. Not every invitation deserves your attendance. Your time is currency, and most people are broke. Invest only where you expect a return. The truth is, life will test your focus. It will tempt you with distractions disguised as opportunities. It will pressure you to conform, to fit in, to make others comfortable. But comfort is a slow death. Comfort kills ambition. Comfort is where dreams suffocate. In neuroscience, there's a term called homeostasis, the brain's desire to stay the same, even when the same is destroying you. So your mind will fight your elevation because growth is unfamiliar. It takes discipline to push past that barrier. It takes a warrior's mindset to look comfort in the eyes and say, "You will not seduce me." Oh, pain is the toll you pay to cross the bridge from who you are to who you can become. And every time you push through discomfort, you are literally rewiring your brain to believe in your capability. That's why small wins matter. Make your bed, drink water, go for a run. Read something that challenges your mind. These are not minor tasks. They are declarations to your subconscious that you are in control. Your daily habits are votes for your future identity. and the identity with the most votes will win. Right now, your life is a reflection of your past choices and your past focus. If you don't like what you see, good. That means you're awake. That means you're aware. That means you're ready. Now shift the focus. Decide who you want to be, and then behave like that person before you become them. That's how transformation happens. Identity first, results second. You don't wait to feel confident. You act like a confident person until your brain updates its beliefs. You don't wait to feel strong. You train your body until strength becomes your truth. You don't wait for opportunities. You create skills so undeniable that opportunities chase you. There will be days when you feel alone, days when doubt creeps in, days when you question if it's worth it. Let me tell you, those days are sacred. Those are the days legends are born. The brain forms resilience only through resistance. Diamonds are made under pressure. Muscles grow when they are torn. Trees root deeper during storms. You grow when life hits hardest. Pain is not the enemy. It is the instructor. Listen to it, learn from it, let it shape you. Focus on yourself long enough and you become dangerous. Not dangerous to others. Dangerous to the version of you that wanted to quit. That old self will no longer have power over you. And that's when life starts to bend in your favor. Job opportunities appear because you built skills. Relationships strengthen because you learned boundaries. Confidence radiates because you kept your promises. Success compounds because you took responsibility. Let me be clear, your past does not disqualify you. Your mistakes do not define you. Your failures do not diminish you. They educate you. They prepare you. They shape you into a person capable of handling the greatness you're chasing. The brain is an adaptation machine. Give it the right challenges, and it turns adversity into evolution. People often ask, how do I know I'm on the right path? Here's how it feels uncomfortable. It feels lonely. It feels demanding. Growth never feels like celebration while you're in it. It feels like work. The internal reward comes later when the discipline you practice becomes the life you live. You must detach from outcomes you cannot control. You can't control who supports you. You can't control who understands your path. You can't control who stays in your life. But you can control how hard you work. You can control whether you quit. You can control whether you keep showing up. And sometimes, showing up for yourself is the most powerful move you'll ever make. Never underestimate the power of patience. Your brain needs time to rewire. Your body needs time to adapt. Your dreams need time to grow roots. Seeds planted today do not give fruit tomorrow. But neglecting the seed ensures fruit will never come. Every day you focus on yourself, even when it feels like nothing is happening, something is happening, you are becoming, you are evolving, you are sharpening your edge, and when the moment comes to strike, you will be ready. You were born with potential, but potential means nothing without execution. Everyone has potential. Very few have discipline. Everyone wants success. Very few are willing to pay the price. Everyone dreams. Very few build. You want to separate yourself from the masses. It's simple. Do what they won't. Most people are too busy watching others live their lives to live their own. Stop spectating your own existence. Get in the arena. Some of you care more about appearing successful than becoming successful. You buy the shoes, the phone, the outfit, but not the book, the course, the coach. You decorate the shell while abandoning the substance. That's not winning, that's pretending. True success is invisible before it becomes undeniable. The greatest work you do, no one will see until it's too late to ignore. And here's the final truth. When you finally win, people will say you got lucky. They won't see the nights you screamed into your pillow. They won't see the failures that nearly broke you. They won't see the sacrifices that made you bleed. They won't see the loneliness, the doubt, the heartbreak. They won't see the thousands of hours you spent focusing on yourself. They will only see the victory. And they will clap because now it's safe to believe in you. I want you to remember something for the rest of your life. Every great story begins with a person who made a bold decision. A decision to stop being controlled by fear. A decision to stop living a watered-down version of themselves. A decision to stop chasing acceptance and start chasing mastery. Make that decision today. Focus on yourself with conviction, with intensity, with obsession, until your mind transforms, your habits transform, your results transform, your life transforms. And when people finally ask, "How did you do it?" you'll smile and say, "I focused on myself. That's how I won." And the beauty of that answer is that it will never be fully understood by those who never dared to do the same. Because focusing on yourself is not glamorous in the beginning. It feels like sacrifice. It feels like losing. It feels like walking away from familiarity and diving into uncertainty. But that's exactly where life begins to open up for you. Beyond the boundaries of comfort, beyond the expectations of others, beyond the limitations you once accepted as facts, let's talk about identity. Most people's identities are shaped by accident, shaped by the opinions of their parents, shaped by the environment they happen to be born into, shaped by society's labels. But the most powerful act you can commit is to consciously design who you want to be. That means stepping away from everything and everyone who continues to define you by your past. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the failures you endured. You are who you decide to become next. This is brain science. Identity adapts to trajectory. If your life is moving forward, your identity strengthens. If your life is stagnating, your identity collapses. And here's the truth. Stagnation is suffering disguised as stability. You deserve a life that excites you, a life that challenges you, a life that makes you proud to wake up in the morning. Not a life that only looks good from the outside, but feels dead on the inside. So here is the challenge: pick yourself. When the world doubts you, pick yourself. When the results are slow, pick yourself. When your inner critic screams loud enough to drown out reason, pick yourself. That repetitive act of self-loyalty is what turns ordinary human beings into unstoppable forces. No one can take away the work you've done in silence. No one can erase the discipline you've built through pain. No one can steal the strength you've earned through perseverance. And that is why focusing on yourself is the most secure investment you will ever make. It cannot be robbed. It cannot be faked. It cannot be destroyed by opinions. The world you see around you, the skyscrapers, the businesses, the technology, the medicine, everything that has ever pushed humanity forward came from individuals who focused on themselves long enough to manifest their vision into reality. Progress is born from personal evolution. Change the individual, and you change the world. Self-focus isn't isolation from humanity. It's contribution to humanity. Because the more you grow, the more value you can offer. The stronger you stand, the more people you can lift. The more you win, the more you can inspire others to believe they can win too. Your success becomes a lighthouse, a signal of possibility to those still lost in the storm. But before the lighthouse guides others, someone had to build it first. You are building that structure now. Every time you refuse to quit, you lay another brick. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, another floor rises. And one day, from the top, you will see a horizon of possibilities that your old life couldn't even imagine. Focus on yourself until the day comes where your future self thanks you for not giving up, where your past self smiles because you proved them wrong, where your present self stands tall knowing you chose the harder road, and that choice made all the difference. Life doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you demand through action and consistency. You must demand more from yourself, not out of punishment, but out of respect. Respect for the potential inside you. Respect for the gifts you were born with. Respect for the life you refuse to waste. And as you rise, because you will, stay grounded in the truth that got you here. Never forget the hunger. Never forget the nights you spent rebuilding after the world counted you out. Never forget who you were before success came knocking. Focus creates success, and continued focus sustains it. You must protect the mindset that made you unstoppable. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is waiting waiting for its next leader, its next innovator, its next difference maker. Why not you? Why not now? The only person who can disqualify you is you. So commit fully, fiercely, fearlessly to the highest version of who you can be. Let every day be a vote for the winner inside you. Let your actions become the proof of your potential. Let your life become the loudest argument for what self-belief makes possible. Focus on yourself, not because you want to leave others behind, but because you want to show others that they can come with you. Focus on yourself, not to live a selfish life, but to live a meaningful one. Focus on yourself, because the world needs more people who choose to rise. And when your journey ends and you look back at the life you built, you will not regret a single moment you spent invested in your own evolution. You will stand in victory with a smile that says, I gave everything I had to become everything I could be. That is how you win. That is how you change your life. That is how you make your mark on the world. Focus on yourself. That's how you win.